Hey, what is up everybody? I am here to give you guys my Mae Young Classics update video number 7, and thank God, because this is actually going to be the last time I have to do one of these videos. I haven't hated doing them, but it just seemed like that every time I think I was done doing them, more and more Mae Young Classic updates would, I'd have to make more and more of them because more and more updates would come up about the tournament. But this is going to be the last one because right after this I'm going to do the predictions video and then I'm going to actually start watching the tournament, to which I will be doing a live reactions to all 4 episodes. So make sure you guys check that out. But let me just get right into this video. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 videos I have to watch that are gonna probably be pretty short, so I just want to get right into this. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, so we had the first video. It's called the body art at the Mae Young Classics. This was pretty much where various of the wrestlers discussed the tattoos that they had in the meeting behind them. You know, you had Shiana Baszler, I don't know how to say her name, describe the meaning behind her tattoo and how it got her the Queen of Spades nickname. We had Mercedes Martinez explain how she got one of them because she had been training with someone that had a back injury and is paralyzed now, so she wanted to get it for him. And then you have Jazzy Gable, who got one for like a big tattoo for every country she's wrestled in. I don't really feel like going into too much detail about this. I just have a question. Who would in the right mind would even care about this? Like, you must have to be like a serious tattoo fanatic or something. Like, nobody watches this. Nobody cares about what the meaning is behind your tattoos. You know, like, I'm not saying like no one, but no wrestling fan's gonna care about that. It's just, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of 2 minutes and 18 seconds I'm never gonna get back. And that's just how that's just how it is. It really, this stuff didn't really matter, and no one cares. Okay, so next, the next video is called Meet Jessica Carter. I don't know if that's how you say her name. WWE's first full-time female referee. It's really crazy to hear that because I never noticed that there had never been a female referee in WWE. It's nuts, actually. I always had thought that you never, because I guess because you don't, I just never noticed that there hasn't been a female referee in WWE. And I guess this definitely shows that the business has changed in that aspect, because now we have females being referees now. Like, I never thought that a female had never been a referee for WWE. It's crazy. One thing I hope that doesn't happen though is that only for woman matches female would be referees, because then it doesn't really make it feel like that the woman would be part of the show. But I think that's pretty cool that we're gonna get a woman referee. You know, you want to really push this Mae Young Classics, have all women be a part of it. Obviously, we still have, you know, obviously we have Jim Ross, who's still going to be the commentator for it, but I think I'm actually fine with that. We meet Jessica Carter, and, you know, she talks about how she's watched wrestling her entire life, and she talks about how she started training at a very young age, and she went and trained with the Dudley Boys at Team 3D Academy, and she got a scholarship to actually go there, and she used all that money to be a wrestler. Then she had a tryout match like in 2014, but then she said that NXT general manager William Regal came up and asked if she wanted to be a referee, and she said without second guessing she said no, and she said that she felt like she was making history, you know, and she felt like that she could be an important part to the wrestling business with even by just being a referee. And then she says that what else does she say? Then she talks about, you know, how wrestling's got her through hard times, you know, divorces, weight losses, and everything, and she'd always look forward to watching wrestling. And she talks about how she feels like that she's making history and how her family would be proud of her. Overall, I thought this was a good video package, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so next we had like another info package for that phony Serena Deeb. CM Punk tried to save you. He tried to save you and you just abandoned him. You should... Kona Reeves looks at you in disgust. But anyhow, she talks about how when she was in WWE before, I covered this in the Bracketology, which you can check out down in the playlist down below, so I'm not going to go through much detail. She talks about how she's been a huge wrestling fan for years. Her biggest inspirations were D-Generation X, which doesn't surprise me at all. Then she talks about how she went and continued wrestling all over the world, which we know that. They'll say Canada, but they won't say TNA because they can't mention TNA, even though it's not TNA anymore. And then she talks about how she retired, I think she said 2 years ago, and went on to start writing and teaching yoga, but then she got contacted by WWE to compete in the tournament, and she said yeah, and she, you know, pretty much talked about how she's more focused and ready, and this is going to be her first time wrestling a match in 2 years, so it's going to be interesting to see if there'll be any ring rust. No one will probably notice since they haven't seen her wrestle since, well, they haven't seen her, a lot of the WWE fans like myself haven't seen her since the Straight Edge Society. So yeah. So overall, that was that phony Serena Deeb. What a phony. What an absolute phony. CM Punk tried to save you and you messed it up. You should be ashamed, and you owe a big apology to CM Punk, and you need to get Kona Reeves a push. Kona Reeves, man. Kona Reeves. Okay, so next we had a video package for Piper Niven. I don't know how to say her name, but she talks about how she's been wrestling for a while, and she feels like that she's been aggressive, and she feels like that she can be strong and determined to wrestle. She talks about how she started wrestling at a very young, well, watching wrestling at a very young age. She loved wrestling, but when she became a teenager, she kept it very quiet because it wasn't very common for girls to like wrestling. And then she talks about how her nephew started watching it, and then that became like their thing. They would play with wrestling figures together. And then she found out there was a training school for wrestling, so she tried out for it, instantly fell in love with it. She talks about how her mom's been her biggest fan. She keeps like this big book of all her moments when she's been in the newspaper and stuff. And she talks about, you know, how she doesn't feel like, because she's obviously a little overweight, so she doesn't feel like you need to look like someone like very athletic, need to look like a supermodel. You can be the type of wrestler that you want to be with any size. And that was about it. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good video package, and I can't wait to see what she has to put on the table in the Mae Young Classic. Okay, so pretty much I just watched the rest of it because a lot of this other stuff I already covered in the Bracketology, which, like I said, you can click down in the playlist to check out. It gave us a little bit more of an in-depth for Lacey Evans, Kairi Sane, and Toni Storm about what got them to the Mae Young Classics, but I've talked about that already. Then we get Asha Raymond, and I guess apparently they call her Deadlift Diva because she can lift a lot of weight. So I know that wasn't really very descriptive, but that's pretty much what happened. But yeah, so this is the last Mae Young Classics update. I pretty much put no effort into doing this, but whatever. And overall, I'm looking forward to watching the Mae Young Classics. I'm gonna do my predictions video and then actually start watching it. And yeah, I've been waiting for this tournament for a few months now, and let's just get right into the predictions video. I'm going to upload that next. So make sure you guys subscribe to this channel so you guys can watch that, get the and click on the bell for notifications, and do the same for the CM Brothers and on the Talking Native YouTube channels. This was no fucks given video.